So this next song, this is kind of a funny story. So in 1976, Lindsay and I had broken up, and I was actually going out with Don Henley, who was in the Eagles. This did not go over that well in my band. Did I care? Not really. Anyway, I get a phone call from Waylon Jennings, and he says to me, and this is like Waylon Jennings, and I've only been a Fleetwood Mac for a year, so am I famous? Yes. Am I that famous? Probably not, but for some reason he chose me to call and ask me if I would write a song, a title song, to a record that he and his wife, Jessie Coulter, were going to put out, and it was going to be called Leather and Lace. So I said, well, exactly what, you know. He goes, I want it to be a song that tells the story of a couple, a married couple that is, you know, trying to live in the music business and have their own careers, but also like hang out with each other and their marriage lasts. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I just spent 8 years trying to make a relationship last in the music business, and that didn't last. So, but however, I'm totally up for the challenge. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So after I've said I will do it, I'm a little scared. But I go, I get my guitar, and I start writing a poem about, you know, a husband and wife that are going to that are both famous, and they both have their own careers, they're going to do this thing. And I'm like, well, okay, I start writing it, and I think it's pretty good. And so Don Henley, one of the best songwriters, and absolutely, as my friend Waddy will say to you, a bad night for Don Henley is a great night for any of the rest of us. So I go in and I play what I have for Don, and he says, it's not that good, it's not good enough. And I'm like, okay. So I go back into my little room, and I sit back down in the bed, and I start over, and I write just a few more lines, and so this goes on for, I'm not sure, 2 weeks, a month, maybe 6 weeks, I don't know. But every time I go in there, first of all, it's not good enough, and then he said, that's really corny. And I'm like, I don't like it very much. And I'm really like, now I'm pissed off. I'm like, now I'm not getting anywhere. So I march back into my room, and I start again, and I finally come out one day, and I say, sit down. He sits down. And I said, so listen to this. So I play it, and I was actually playing guitar. Not well, but playing. And when I got done, he said, it's good. It's really good. And I said, so we're done? And he said, we're done. And I'm like, and then of course I'm like, I love you, Don. Because I didn't love you at all 5 minutes ago, but I really love you now. And so anyway, I sent the song off to Jessie and Waylon, and then I find out through the rumor mill that Jessie and Waylon are breaking up. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me at all. So I call Waylon and I said, you can't do the song, Waylon, because I hear that you and your wife are splitting up. And he's like, I know, but we can still do the song. And I'm like, no, you can't, because I spent like a long, difficult time writing the ins and outs of doing what you wanted me to do and writing about that, so you can't have the song, so send it back. So basically he did, and I went to Don Henley and said, well, guess what? They're not doing it. And Don said, why? And I said, because they're splitting up. So maybe someday, Don, you and I can do it. And he said, okay. And that song went into the dark gothic box of magical, mystical things. And 5 years later, was pulled up when I did Belladonna and put on that record. So sometimes, once again, back to the fact that dreams come true, things can go away and be hidden and come back and be great. So we're going to do it for you tonight, but we're going to do it A, without Don, and B, the way that we actually did it on the Belladonna tour, which was just me and the girls. So it's like, it's really cool, because this is the way it was first presented. So here it comes.